This is where we worked up yesterday with the sumo that had been flooded. Andrew's now drilled it so you can see the lines in it. And then over here I'll show you. So he's sewn that bit, then he's also stitched a little bit more into this bit here where it's a little bit thinner. And then going along that side and over the hill as well. It's where it's been in the shade of the trees, and it's just a bit wetter when he's sewn it because it hadn't dried that well. Even now it's still a little bit soft, but at least it's dry weather, and it's forecast dry weather for a little bit. You can see where he's driven down there. There's been a little bit of slip on the tractor wheels, but it's growing. But we've stitched a bit more in because just this corner of this field's just that bit thin. So if we're putting inputs on it, we want to make sure there's plants to take it up. Now he's also scattered a little bit of fertiliser on. It's a bit early really for putting on the wheat, but because we'd call this a bit backwards and a bit behind, we've given it a little bit early on, just so if it warms up next week like it's supposed to, hopefully it'll start to grow. Just up at Brookhouse now, just counting up how many bales of barley straw we've got in the shed, because someone's been asking about some barley straw. I think we've got a full load, which is good. We can get some of this shed empty. Just towing this van. Yeah, won't start, so can't get jump leads to it when it was parked, so I had a tow rope with me, so I'm just going to pull him back so that he can get his car to the front of it and jump it. Otherwise it's another week. In the field now with the landing lights in, and I've just come to have a look, and I've scratched down on the wheat that was drilled probably 10 days ago now. See, it's got a root and a sprit on it, so that's good. That should be coming up soon. Maybe next week we'll start to see little green shoots coming out of the ground. See, when that does that, put my hand in front and it like focuses on my hand and makes everything go blurred, and it comes back again. It used to annoy me, that, especially when I was editing, but when I watched the first episode of series 2 of Clarksons farm last night, it does it to them as well. So there's a picture, I think, where they were flailing the car park off, flailing some wheat to make the car park, and the camera did the same thing to Amazon and they left it in, so I'm not going to worry about it in edits now. Anyway, who's watched it? Has anyone binge watched it? I know my sister's watched the first 3. I only had time to watch the first 1, so I'll probably watch it over the next week or so. But yeah, let me know who's been watching Clarksons farm. I'm going to go out on the sprayer now, but this little aerial, I presume it's the same as that one, just fell off. So I might try and stick something metal in it just to see if it stops it bleeping at me while I'm out spraying this time. Because yesterday I was going up and down, it kept going beep, beep, saying it was losing signal, and it was up and down the signal, sort of bar chart thing. Don't know what this is. Anyone know? Found it on the floor by the bin, but it looks like it's got the same thread on the end of it. So I'll try that. If not, I'll just put a screw in it for now and see what that does. Because obviously it's like completely shrouded with rubber and there's nothing sticking up proud. So anything's got to be better than nothing, surely. That is too big, so I guess just should stay. See what that does. Similar height to that now. Anyone that's got a Bateman without this button on will know how brilliant that is. You used to have to kind of climb up the steps and reach behind the seat, turn the PTO on, but having it here is absolutely amazing. Need about 400 litres, so if we turn this tap off now, open that, suck some air in, hopefully get the pump changed out. There we go, 420 litres, that will do. So I'll stop it filling and unattach the hose at the back to the gate shut valve. If it's that way, it's sucking. If it's across, that little window means it's blocked. Sorry, not blocked, just turned off. Just put this cap back on. Right, I might put the mud flaps back on this. There's a mud flaps going on the back and it stops it splashing up on the booms up here. Take them off in the spring so they don't hit the prop over. Not sure if anyone's noticed, I haven't got my Flexi-Tog coat on today because it's not cold enough to need it. But I've got one of these hoodies that we've got. We're going to put another order in next week, so if anyone is wanting one, let us know, and then we know a rough idea of how many to order. But don't forget, these hoodies still in stock. Shameless plug for them. Don't forget, great Valentine's presents. I just named this field Post Office Field. It's been known as the post office field for all the time we've found it, which is probably about 10 or 15 years. But the post office shut 25 years ago, but it's still called Post Office Field. I'm timing and I'm thinking, why am I doing this? You know, we should call it like Nedley Road, because that's the field. That's the road that you access it from. I don't know. Everyone has weird names for fields, I'm sure. Spraying off this field now, but it's still very wet. Andrew drilled sort of past that line last week, so I'm just going to light dose of glyphosate just to kill some of the green stuff. But we're going to have to come and put some drains into that pond, because you see how much it's sinking here, or how much it's sunk when they tried to level it off after the potatoes. Quite a big flood there as well now on high ground, which is a bit weird. So this is the bit that was sown now. You can see it's still a little bit wet though. But yeah, we'll get some drains in this, I think. Travelling really well in the middle. Proper dry. Just kill off these little bits of weed, you see, so there's no competition for the wheat coming up. Not a very big field either. Came in last night and I was obviously wanting to get the video edited and eat me tea, so I forgot to spray this stuff that someone had sent me in the post. Sorry, I've forgotten his name. So I'm going to take this panel off now, which is quite easy. And we're going to spray inside all here where the rats had chewed them cables, and then when we've got time we'll pull them out and solder them all in properly. It smells a little bit like, I don't know, vinegar or citronella or something, but I'm going to coat all these cables in here, and then I need to do the birthday bumper in a minute, alright? I might do inside here, so that should. Can I do it with one hand? Can't do it with one hand, can I? Hold on. There you go. I'm going to pull out all these solenoids here, because there's all these wires here. Cover them with it. Yeah, pipes. So these are little air solenoids, so it puts 12 volt in, and there's obviously pressure down sort of like this side, and then every time you put 12 volts in, it lets the air go down one of these pipes, and then pipes, you follow them all the way back. You've got a bank of them here where they come out the sprayer. This is where you unattach the chassis, the sprayer off the chassis, so you can just leave the sprayer if you want, just with a frame, maybe put a fert spreader on and stuff. I think that's what Chris and Danny had done next door. But yeah, they can go all the way down to the back, and then they run all the way down to these and turn on and off to turn the spray lines on and off. Right, I've done in there, and then if you remember, was it in there as well they got in? So I'll spray some in that. There's a little hole somewhere, I think. No, it wasn't. I think it was round here, wasn't it? I think it was in that box there. They got into that box. So I'll give everything a good squirt. Points of entry. Hopefully I should scare them off going in it. When I was in Ukraine, they were painting the tyres white, and it might have been lost in translation, but they were basically winterising the sprayers. They said it stops the tyres perishing. I just wonder if they painted them with white, like a lime or something, whether it also stops rodents climbing up them. So anyone that's maybe a bit more into wildlife or lime and stuff, would that work? Someone might know what also is like a natural deterrent, but that'd be good if you could just, because obviously they've got to climb up, haven't they? The only way they can climb up is on the tyre. And if you could coat the tyres of tractors and everything with it, because they'd even chewed a bit of wiring on Nick's class, and they obviously did the digger as well. They couldn't really do the digger because of the big tracks, but the other year they got in the digger and chewed a wire as well. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, have a look and see how much damage they did to this wiring around here. Quickly do the birthday bumper. Joe wrote on it the other day, alright Ollie, and I forgot to write alright Joe, but I've forgotten. Anyway, Matt Holcroft is 44, Alfie Lockweather is 7, Edward Heave is 12, Alison Hunt is 52, Jim Wilson is 44, James Thompson is 12, David Clark, Frankie Perkins, Anthony Dyer, Arwin Jones as well's birthday is, but also Emily O'Donovan was born last night, so congratulations to mum and dad there. So that is the birthdays today. Nearly 26,000 already, absolutely brilliant. So thanks for watching, and if you're not on there and it's your birthday, happy birthday, and happy birthday to everyone on there. Good boy. Ivan's testing out his new dog bed. Courtesy of Chris.
Hello.
If you want one, he's got a Facebook page, because I've just seen it. Sleepy Dog. No, Ivan's not got a Facebook page yet. Yeah, you might have seen Chris in the video sometimes. He comes servicing the boiler. He works for Manco Energy. Anyway, his sideline is he sells milk filters. But the offcut of the milk filters, you might have seen it once before. He brought me a dog basket. Anyway, this is a dog bed. So it's dead comfy because it's got all the like fluffy material. Dog's playing with a bottle. It's got all the fluffy material out of the middle of filters. So they're made in Poland by two disabled ladies. Anyway, Chris has got about 50 of them and he sells them on his Facebook page. So I've tried to put it up there now if you can see it. But he needs a website, I think, don't you? But yeah, if anyone needs any milk filters as well, get in touch with him via that, because he can get genuine milk filters at like half the price what everyone else pays for milk filters. Not a dairy farmer, don't know exactly, but yeah, basically his hometown is where they're all made for all the major manufacturers, and they're not legal or anything. It's just they might be a different colour, but it'd be the same filter. So he's worth talking to him if you want a milk filter. If you're a dairy farmer and you're fed up of paying manufacturers' prices for them because they've all come out of the same factory. Anyway, that is all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.